Hi guys, today I'd like to share a video on the global markets. I'd like to share how the global markets, especially the Dow Jones, S&P 500, Nasdaq, dollar index, emerging market ETF, Taiwan, Brazil financials, Nifty, Bank Nifty, and Bitcoin, how they have behaved, and especially how they have behaved at around 21-day moving average. So let's move ahead. Before moving ahead, I'd like to share a disclaimer. Guys, have taken utmost care while preparing this video, this PPT. But I would just like to mention that this video or this document is only for educational purpose, not for any investment advice or recommendation. Please consult a financial advisor before acting on this. So first market is US markets, the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones, this the red line. This is 21-day moving average. 21 day, not 21 week. 21-day moving average. So it was moving very smoothly. It found a support, regular support, 21-day moving average. It came down, again found a support, and past few it consolidated. In fact, it moved down the 21-day moving average because of the pressure on Nasdaq, and from past few days it's up above its 21-day moving average. But the volumes have reduced. If you look at the volumes on the Dow Jones, it's reduced. It's below the 10-day average. But let's see. Let's see at other indices. This is the S&P 500, one of the largest indices in the world. Again, this is the 21. The red line is a 21-day moving average. So since November, it's been a smooth ride for S&P. It was below the 21-day moving average, but quickly moved up. It was below the 21-day moving average for a day, again moved up. Here also it was below the 21-day moving average, but again moved up. Here it consolidated at the 21-day moving average. Yes, it came down around 21-day moving average, moved up, came down a bit, moved up. So it's a huge consolidation. Just look at the selling in S&P 500 over here, and again it's trying to move up above the 21-day moving average. But let's see how Nasdaq has moved out in this time. So 21-day moving average, it's very important, especially for our markets, because right now we are at 21-day moving average. So it's very important to see how Nifty and Bank Nifty behaves at 21-day moving average. This is Nasdaq chart. Nasdaq is one of the most smoothest chart. It consolidated between September to November, and once it was about 21-day moving average, it found a support at 21 DMA. So support at 21 DMA, again a support at 21 DMA, and here it broke 21-day moving average, and it's continuously down since mid-Feb. Nasdaq is below 21-day moving average since mid of February. It's now almost a month. So now 21-day moving average is acting as a resistance in case of Nasdaq. Just watch this. It came over here, and again it came down. It closed in the green, but it's finding support. So my guess is Nasdaq will consolidate at around 21 DMA, and if it's able to move up, it's a good sign for all the indices. But if it consolidates at 21 DMA, or if it moves down from here, I think then it's going to put a pressure on lots of market. The good part is the Bitcoin, one of the most risky assets, is up. It's at all-time high, which is a good sign for the risky assets. So now let's look at dollar index monthly chart from 2011 bottom. This is a trend that I have drawn. So dollar index, this trend acted as a support for dollar index. Found a support over here, and this support was broken this last year in 2020. Now this trend line is acting as a resistance for dollar index. So we'll see whether 92.55 or 93 level acts as a resistance for dollar index, because remember the bond yield in US are moving up. What dollar index does, it's important for us because it will help us to understand whether the market has already factored in a move in US 10-year and 20-year or 30-year yield. So how dollar index behaves from here is very important. This is a monthly chart. On the monthly chart, it shows that 92.5 is a resistance or 93 is a resistance. Remember, this trend line is upward trending. So as the month passes by, this number is going to change. This is the weekly chart for dollar index. So if you can see, this blue line is a 10-week moving average. So since the COVID crisis, this 2 hour of March 2020, this blue line has acted as a resistance for dollar index. So dollar index moved up, yeah, it acted as a resistance, and now after a long time, the dollar index is above this trend line, the 10-week moving average, and this is 21-week moving average. So dollar index is above both the moving average on the weekly chart. So let's see whether I think dollar index should consolidate for next couple of weeks, and depending on how the US bond yield moves, dollar index will move. But it's very important to keep a watch on dollar index monthly and weekly chart. This is an emerging market ETF. Just look at this. This was this area is of end of January 2021. If you remember, our market also moved up after the budget. Once the budget was announced, even the emerging market ETF moved up at the same time. But if you see, the emerging market ETF is below this level, and our markets are somewhere here, and emerging markets ETF is below the 21-day moving average. So it's again finding resistance at 21-day moving average. This is MSCI EEM ETF. So let's see how we pan out in next few days, few weeks, because we are also at 21-day moving average, and we have outperformed the emerging market ETF. This is the weekly chart. Something to mention: finding support at 21-week moving average. This is the Taiwan index. Remember, Taiwan index. This is the 21-day moving average. It's also consolidating at around 21-day moving average. The best part about Taiwan is, like Indian markets, the Indian Nifty has a lot of constituents of banking stocks, but Taiwan has a lot of composition of technology stocks. So Nasdaq is consolidating at 21-day moving average. Nasdaq is below 21-day moving average. Let's see how Taiwan pans out in next few days or next few weeks. And most importantly, I think apart from few countries, Taiwan is one of the emerging markets which is at lifetime high, like India. So if there is a pressure on Taiwan, Taiwan opens before the Indian market opens. So if there is some selling pressure on the Taiwan indices and we open flat or something, so it will give us a time to adjust, to keep our stop losses. And if Taiwan is down, it will also help us not to move ahead and be on a buying spree. So let's watch how Taiwan pans out in the next few days or few weeks. This is the Brazilian market. It is one of the most weakest market in emerging market space. So this is a 21-day moving average. Again, from November till almost Jan of 2021, the 21-day moving average acted as a support for Brazil market, and now it is below that. Tried to move up, consolidated, and is down. Again, it's trying to consolidate, trying to move up. So let's see how this things pans out. So this is why dollar index moves. The move in dollar index is going to be very important. How dollar index moves in next few weeks, few days, it will solve a lot of mystery. But as of now, this is the Brazil chart and even Brazil financials. This trend line is from March of 2020. So it broke this trend line again, trying to consolidate, trying to find support at this trend line. Let's see whether it's able to do or not. So how the US bond yields, how the dollar index moves from here on, it will help us to understand. So Indian markets are down. If you see this trend line breaching in Brazil, the dollar index moving out 93, Nasdaq just consolidating or below the 21-day moving average on continuous basis. So I mean, it will give us some sign that we need to be cautious on the market, and if things move in a positive way, we can be aggressively long on the market. So but it's important to observe how things pan in next few days or next few weeks. This is Nifty daily. We are at 21-day moving average. So apart, if you'll see it, most of the market have corrected at from 21-day moving average. So Taiwan and India are only two markets which are consolidating. So it's very important to us to watch out the higher levels. Whether at higher levels like we saw on Friday, the selling pressure after 12:30, 1 o'clock. It's very important for us to watch out how market behaves near 21-day moving average. If it's able to find support, it consolidates and moves up or moves down. So let's be very watchful for next few days, next few weeks. Plus remember, there are a lot of cases in city like Bombay, Gujarat, in state like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Delhi, Punjab, again increasing. So so we need to be very watchful. I'm not saying the lockdown is going to be like we saw in March, April of 2020, but still we need to be watchful. So market can give an abrupt U-turn. So let's be watchful on the markets. Bank Nifty again at 21-day moving average is consolidating. So Bank Nifty is just between this to like between 36,000 and 3500. So whichever area Bank Nifty breaks, so I think the picture will be clear what direction the markets are moving. But the best part about the risk on assets is Bitcoin is at all-time high. So Bitcoin is one of the most volatile assets. It moves up by 20-30% in a week or in a day, and moves down by 20-30% in a day. It doesn't take Bitcoin it's one of the most volatile assets. So Bitcoin will top out first and Bitcoin will bottom out first compared to other indices. The best part is Bitcoin is an all-time high, which gives us that even if we see a correction in the markets, will the buying would come. So this is the good part, and I'll request everyone to keep a watch on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin moves up, I think we are going to see an outperformance in emerging markets. But if Bitcoin is down, let's say Bitcoin breaks 40,000 this support, then I think it's going to be a problem for a lot of emerging markets. But since Bitcoin is a volatile asset, it will give us a lot of time to do the adjustment. Guys, if you like the video, do subscribe and please share it with your friends. I'll keep on sharing new ideas on the markets and the stocks. Thank you. Have a nice day.